For those of you that don't know me, my name is Katie Miller. I'm the Client Relations Coordinator. I work with many of you. If not, I've probably talked to all of you at some point. This afternoon, Andy and I are going to close it out. We're going to be talking about vision. We're going to be casting your vision, setting your compass for the next 5 years. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick little grounding exercise together because we've just had a lot of information today and we need to reset, okay? So before we do that, let's talk about what we've all been thinking about today, right? We've got a lot of things on our plate. I've seen several of you have to take phone calls. We've all been checking our emails. Your staff might be looking for you. It's called the whirlwind, right? It's really easy to get wrapped up in it. But for the next, 90 minutes if that, ignore it. Lock in, because we've got to talk about what the next 5 years actually is going to look like. And in order for us to do that, we need your full attention. So both feet on the ground. Let's do a quick little exercise here. Let's get both feet on the ground. Everybody taking a deep breath. And as you let it out, close your eyes. Trust me, don't go to sleep. Close your eyes, all right? Just sit there for 1 second. Let's get back into it. And since we're gonna be talking about the future, we actually have to go back in time first. So I do have the pleasure of taking you guys back 5 years to the fall of 2020, which was everyone's favorite year. And I apologize in advance. But while you're thinking about that, if you had a 5-year plan at that point, how's it feeling? We've made it 5 years. We survived it, right? Take a second to remember, kind of sucked. It's not fun. I don't really want to go and do that again, right? But we survived it. You guys accomplished a lot of things. So take a second and just sit with that. Take another deep breath. Let it out. Because now, with your eyes still closed tight, I want you to think about next. So in the next 5 years, what is my vision? What is it going to look like? You may already have one. You may actually be in the middle of a 5-year plan right now, and that's okay. But we are going to set a 5-year plan together today, and I want you guys to give yourselves pats on the backs, give yourself kudos for what you've accomplished over the last 5 years, because I'm sure it has not been easy for many of you. But now, we can open our eyes. We're going to come back to 2025. Andy's going to bring us back to today and get us kicked off.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie, for the grounding. It's always good to do just closing our eyes to get rid of some of those visuals. So with the 5-year plan, it's different than, of course, a 1-year plan. It's not just 4 years longer. It's a little bit more in the sky, and I find this to be super critical for decision making. I think I was talking to an owner not long ago, and they asked Andy, I'm thinking of buying another club, and I simply asked, what's the plan? What's the overarching theme here? And they didn't have one. So it's hard to make decisions for our business without that particular vision. Bill Gates once said, most people overestimate what they can do in a year, underestimate what they can do in 10 years. So if we're not looking into the future, we are, again, how do we make decisions? How do we process information on what's right for our business without understanding where we're going? For example, when I first started with Anytime Fitness, me and my partner, we set a goal, a vision. I use the word goal and vision kind of together, but they are different. Katie will go into that. It was to open 10 locations in 5 years. So it took us 8 years to do it. So we missed the quote deadline, but there was a lot of things, lessons learned, and we didn't set that goal, right? When we went to conferences or we saw clubs for sale, we wouldn't have gotten to any of that. Remember we were talking about earlier, the RAS, reticular activating system. When you set a goal, a vision, your brain will start working to fill that in. And that's where we're going to get there. Now, again, we'll go into the details, and it's not going to be as metric-driven as we're used to. It's going to be a little bit more like directional, and Katie used the word compass. So just as so I hit my 10 locations, I think it was in 2018, but then we took our foot off the gas and we didn't have a lot of direction. We were kind of circling, let's open up another, let's do, and I was just like that owner, didn't really have any more vision. Then, of course, we had COVID, then after COVID, we established some very clear goals, and within a year, we doubled our business. This year, we'll almost double it, not double it again, probably triple over the next week. So just by having that simple vision of where we're going, it cleared the way, cleared the path. So it's something so small. So we go 5, 6 years, nothing happens, then we go a year, we double the business. So it's very powerful, and I want to make sure, you know, in other events, we've talked about different types of goals for our life, and we're going to continue to revisit these 5 years. You can't plan 5 years in advance. I just want to let you know that. You can only plan roughly 90 days in advance in terms of what you can actually do. But so every year you should be looking at these 5-year visions and say, okay, what do I need to tweak? Is this still where I want to go? So if, like Katie says, if you're already in a 5-year plan, you've already done this, and you've just got 2 years left, look at it. Are you, like, how do you extend it? What does that next 5 years look like? All right, so back to Katie.
All right, so in your workbooks, if you flip to pages 10 and 11, this is going to be our first little exercise that we do together today. So we're actually going to fill out on page 10 my 5-year plan from 2020. So if you did not have one, or maybe you have one but it wasn't super concrete, that's okay. Write down what you were wanting to do in 2020. I know I've had many a conversation post-COVID of people who just wanted to get back to their numbers from pre-COVID, whatever it looked like. And then I want you to compare it to where you are today. So take the next few minutes, just jot down that information. All right, now on the page beside it, on page 11, we're going to start filling in the blanks on that side. So you should see 3 boxes: wins, surprises, challenges. And think of challenges as maybe opportunities, things that you're most proud of overcoming, right? So first, let's fill in our wins. Over the last 5 years, what are some of the wins that you have that you want to celebrate? Take a couple minutes, jot down 2 or 3. And then once you have those filled out, we're going to talk about the other 2. So what were some of the surprises that you actually came across over the last 5 years that you maybe didn't feel super prepared for, or just didn't anticipate, especially even after 2020. And in the bottom box, fill out your challenges. And once we have those filled in, you're going to share them with your table. Go ahead and start sharing with your table. What are some of the wins? What are some of the surprises? And what are some of the challenges? Okay. That's huge. No. You might have just volunteered, Brad.
No, because they'll expect me to have answers.
You're like, I don't know.
Just like,
Okay. I know we've talked about that one a lot today.
You know most of
There's
my
our
life
music.
story.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay. Biggest surprise it's back. Come on. That's a win.
Mine's a little more personal.
Oh, that's okay. That's all
It
right.
doesn't really apply business-wise, but you know,
But that's a big one for a lot of people.
biggest challenges, but biggest rewards too,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. All right, as you're filling them out, if anybody at the table has a really good one,
we just started this last year, so it's more personal stuff.
yeah, that's fine. No, he took today to relax, and he's gone and found a lobster roll, and is just wandering around. Oh, James something. I'll have to give you the name. Don't forget, he texted it to me. He sat on the water, fresh. Yes, I'll send you the picture.
Anywhere tonight around here, we're trying to figure out something.
We were trying to figure it out. We're gonna go do a ghost tour like later tonight. There's like a trolley one, but we were trying to figure out dinner before. We haven't said anything yet though, so if we can figure it out.
There's a bunch of restaurants down here.
There's a ton of stuff, yeah. All right, Chris, what you got?
I got everything done. What do you want to know?
I'm gonna call on you. You're gonna tell me.
No,
Did you
you're-
fill out the whole dang book?
Yeah, but just go ahead and skip it.
No.
Don't call on me. It's for everyone's best interest.
Why?
Like personalities at the gym, so it's a lot easier to manage product than people, you know?
How's it going?
Good.
Okay. No. Big. You still working on surprises? Are you not surprised by much anymore?
I'm more surprised.
Yeah, I think that could fall into both of those.
This question I have asked some leaders that we all know, very top end. Nobody can give me that answer.
It's hard.
That answer.
I know. Do we have a volunteer to share some of your wins? Anybody want to brag on themselves for the last 5 years? Tell me, Laura.
So I went really bad last year, personally, just like being involved with the business. So this first half of today was really tough for me. Like, you know, that self-realization that like I'm the problem. But I can brag the last 5 years. mentioned this. It's like, man, we went from 18,000 draft PT to 50,000.
That's huge.
We took the opportunities after, like through COVID, to change some of our systems, like conveniently, got rid of our large group, not getting rid of it, but we stopped selling large group packages and focused on small group. Changed our package structure at that time, just a huge change. My biggest surprise, I think, was like the public perception of fitness and health, and how that led to easier sales. People talked about how that, like, oh, this is going to change, COVID's going to change the fitness world, and people are going to think of it differently. And in the time, they're in 2020, you're thinking, oh, I hope so. This gets better, but it really did. It just makes conversations easier around health and fitness. People are much less focused on the number on the scale and more focused on the health and well-being and the mental sanity, which helps sales. My biggest challenge, I had 2 kids. It's not a challenge, but it's a challenge to balance business and personal life and feeling equally efficient or effective both. Biggest challenge.
Thank you, Laura. Does anybody else want to volunteer to share or be voluntold? Stacy and Christian, would you share? Tell us your biggest wins.
We increased our PT revenue, draft to over 40,000 a month, which was huge for us. Back in 2020, Christian was planning to go on to school for physical therapy, and he chose to stay at the gym full time, and my plan is for him to take over for me someday. Finding a property to build our new gym on, and then raising over $40,000 for that international justice mission.
Yeah.
Never expected that number to be something we could accomplish, so those were some huge wins.
Love that. Love that. Any surprises?
What's that?
Any surprises?
Oh, so many surprises. We had like staff that had to leave that we weren't anticipating. Him not going to school was a big surprise, even though it was a win. It was a big surprise. He went to school. He got his exercise science degree. He just didn't go on to the doctorate program. And then I think my growth in, like back then I was just doing like office and owning, the gym, but now I'm selling PT and I'm training and I'm kind of doing all the things. So I know my growth has been huge, and that kind of surprises me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. All right, how many of you that were listening heard something from either Stacy or Laura that you also wrote down on your papers? Something similar at least? Balance.
And I think just doing that exercise, it's so important, especially as entrepreneurs. We tend to be very hard on ourselves and say, we should have done more, we want to do more. And when you do that look back, yes, I love about hearing the revenue, the PT. Think about the learnings that you've had, because that's really what's going to carry you into that next 5 years. What did you learn over that time from those challenges? There's the old saying, if I was to either A, give you $1 million today, or B, teach you how to make $1 million, what would you do? And we know theoretically or contextually the right answer is teach me how to make that $1 million. And you guys have all learned so much over the last 5 years and identifying that and looking at those as so many gains, right? So many gains. And that is what you want to utilize as you go into these planning for the next 5 years.
Yep. Thank you, Andy.
I got a question. One of the things that I've learned, and I kind of recently rescripted what I say to people that call me and say, hey, tell me about this mastermind group. One of the things that I have learned is when things are going really well, do we really need it? It's fun, we get together. But when things are really bad, as an owner, there's nowhere for us to go to. Especially if you have a spouse that's got their own career and they're not plugged in. We gotta have, I'm gonna speak for myself, I gotta have some kind of an out, because if not, I'll lose my mind. especially with everything that goes in life. This group, I tell people, this is a group that's very special. It's also a group that as you build those relationships, even if it's only twice a year at the summits, it's a relationship that can help kind of get some of that angst out and plan your plan or create a path that doesn't seem so doom and gloom or rocky in order for you to continue towards that 5-year path. So I think that the community in this group, you can read the 4DX, but at the end of the day, it's the application. It's not the book smart. It's being able to apply it in the real world. So that's what's really helped me the most.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, remember, there's a natural rhythm of the world, natural ebbs and flows of your business. Think about the seasons. Right now, we're turning into fall. Imagine if you started getting super angry that it's getting cold out if you live, say, in the Northeast. Like, that's just going to happen. But guess what? It's going to get warm again. There's natural seasons to our life, and that's where kind of what Rob is saying is having people there to help you throughout those different seasons. And again, that's where we're looking backwards, and then we're looking forward, because it's like you're like, I'm gonna have a perfect 5 years. No, it's not gonna be perfect. That's the joy and the beauty of life, because we as humans like and need to struggle. If we don't struggle, we don't grow. You can't grow anything without struggle. So it's a really important part of the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk about vision, why is it so important? It's because if we don't have vision, and Andy's going to speak on this just a little bit more on how to make sure everything that you choose to do is actually in line with that. Every opportunity can look tempting, right? Everything can look new and shiny, make you want to go and do it because it's right there, but does it actually align with your vision? So we need to actually understand what vision is first. We mentioned this earlier, but it's not necessarily the same thing as goals, right? Your goals are going to be more of your measurable checkpoints. You're actually going to be setting them tomorrow in Chad's session. We're going to be talking about your wig, right? But your vision is what you have as your compass. It is your reason. It is your purpose. Earlier in today's sessions when we talked about your value, we talked about your purpose, all of those things tie into your vision. So if you've never actually sat down and planned out a 5-year vision, if this is new for you, or maybe you've done one but it's been a really long time, that's okay, because we're about to do it again. So on your next page, if you actually flip to page 12, we are going to be going into 2030. So now we're going into the future. While you're writing out, there are a couple prompt questions at the top of the page to help you kind of get things going. This doesn't have to be completely about the business. This can also be personal. Where do you want to be in 5 years, right? What does my business look like? How many clubs do I have? How much revenue is that? What reputation do I want in my community? Take a second, write it down. And while you're writing, Andy's going to be speaking on.
Just reiterating the point of how we make decisions. Opportunities come along, all the time, right? Whether you want to get into different businesses, you want to do real estate, you want to do this, you want to do that. I get calls every week with some business for sale or this or that. And in my younger years, when I had less clarity, it would be like, yeah, we waste time vetting this out, even though it's so far off of really what my vision is. So again, using this as that staple for you to be able to make better, greater decisions along the road. And this will, to Katie's point, will help you tomorrow, because that's going to be really the first step. We'll talk about how to get to that 5-year vision. Tomorrow will be the first step of figuring out your way for the next 6 months. 6 months we can handle. 5 years, again, a little bit bigger picture. So really put some thought into this. And the big question, using your table, your group, to push on each other of why. Like if you just say, oh, I want more clubs, or I want more people, I want more members, make sure there's a why behind that. Don't just put something because you heard a friend say that they were going to do this. So really push on each other to explore that why so that you attach to it. Remember, we have 3 different brains. We got our brain here, the traditional one. Our heart actually has its own brain to make its own decisions. And then there's also our gut, also has its own little brain in there. That's science, you can check it. And therefore, when we talk about let me sleep on this, or does it feel right? Or my gut says this. That there's some real truth to that. So make sure, in terms of the positive, that you feel it in the heart that this is something that you want. Otherwise, without that emotion, there will be no motion. You got to make sure that it fits to what you're looking for. So leave it at that.
Yep. right, as you're filling out the left side, picturing your 2030, on the right side, we're actually going to be summarizing this into 3 bullet points. And like Andy said, we actually placed you guys at these tables for a reason today. So the people that you are sharing a table with, their business is similar to yours. Maybe in location, maybe in number, maybe in size, how you run your business. You're actually all very similar. So as you are summarizing your 3 bullet points, you're going to be challenging each other. Why is this so important to you? And so while you are actually filling these out and you're asking each other this question, get the... Are we playing reggae? All right, get the conversation going with yourselves. Really challenge each other on why is this so important to you? Do we need to add to that vision? Do we need to change it?
What do you mean, like 3 bullets to capture my 5-year vision?
All right,
Don't look at it.
Okay, so whatever your vision is, if you could summarize it into like 3 key points, maybe it's 1 word each, maybe it's 1 sentence each, 3 key points
To get me here?
that captures like what is that vision. So tell me, like, word vomit, what is your 5-year vision?
Like for my, I mean, I just wrote this out for a business side of things, like where I want to be in the company, but I also don't know where he wants to be, right? So like I'm missing my owner. I'm missing the key, we're missing the key part of our business.
Okay. Did he just step out for a phone call?
Yeah, he's on the phone with Charlie.
All right. Oh, fun. Okay, so if you've got, I mean, he started some of it, right?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I don't understand his gibberish also.
Okay.
This says 2 sons, that's all I can read.
Oh, okay. He's on that other page too. All right, so if you're thinking about, you 2 partner to come up with this.
Okay.
So where do you, it doesn't have to just be 2 separate ones, it can be 1 big one.
I just said $1 million.
Across all the locations?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So work together, and the biggest thing could be like for your vision, when we talk about why is that so important, what is that going to do?
For me?
In general. For you, in general, for the clubs, for your staff,
Yeah,
for,
give me that
for Ryan's
I
car?
want.
Yeah.
No, I won't be in debt anymore.
Okay. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why it's so important to you. You can think about the community aspect of it. You can think about your staff. You can think about your staff's family. Mark made a great comment earlier. Some of his staff is starting to grow their families. He wants to be able to help provide for them. So when you think about, yourself, if we were to fast forward 5 years and we're sitting here, what do you want that endpoint to look like?
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, has everybody filled in their vision, filled in their bullet points, filled in their why? Yes. Thank you, Shauna. All right, so we're going to do a quick little round of sharing before we do our next step, because we do have to reverse engineer how we actually get to our 2030. Hannah, I heard that. Did you say no? All right, let's see. We're going to share very quickly your 3 bullet points and why this is important to you, okay? Rob, would you share?
Me what?
Would you share why your vision is important to you? What your vision is?
So what's important to me is my vision for building our community outside of the club, the community within the club, my staff, and just starting with my staff is giving them an opportunity to become successful and sharing what I'm learning to break that barrier where they're kind of stuck down here and is where they're going to be financially, and letting them see that sky's the limit. That's probably my biggest worry is I want them to be successful. That's why we took them all on a cruise last year, because I wanted them to experience some good stuff, some good life, instead of the same old mundane coming into work and leaving. And I want them to see what it's like to want success. And then also to kind of balance that out, working with our charitables and our community, that's huge for us, and making sure we're on point with giving back to the community. That's just a balance that's always been passionate with me. And that's kind of what we're striving.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing. All right, we'll do one more. Does anybody want to volunteer? No?
Here we go.
Yes.
Without it, I'm wandering around lost and unfulfilled.
There you go. That's why it's important. What is your vision?
How much time do you have? Right? In our case, my wife and I together, we want to own our own building, 8 to 10,000 square feet, so I can have my 6 lifting platforms. $1 million top line revenue, half training, half membership. I see myself as an engaged owner. Reputation, owner who cares about staff and members and helps them strive and grow towards their goals. Difference it makes, life-changing impacts of all kinds depending on the individual. A lucrative club, which gives us the financial freedom to, and we do some of this now, but the financial freedom to give money away. And what is it? It's why? It's who I am. I can't imagine being anything else.
Very good. That was a great one. All right, so now we have to reverse engineer it, right? We figured out what it is, we figured out why it's important, but we actually need to figure out how we actually accomplish it now, right? We're not talking about the goals, we're talking about 3 separate things. So in order for year 5 to come to fruition, in order for me to hit my headline, if you will, by 2028, I need to have hit what milestone? And by 2026, so next year, this is my next step. So to help kind of give some examples, Andy's got a couple for us.
Yes, thank you, Katie. So one of the things with milestones, typically how you use it in the past, you can write down a goal. In this situation, depending on what your goal is, it's not just, let's say we want to hit 10 locations in 5 years, and again, these locations is easy to kind of talk about, but it doesn't make it more valuable. So in 5 years, that means in 2.5 years, my milestone has to be 4.5 locations, right? 1 to 10. That's not how the milestones work. The milestones are what are some bigger things within your organization that has to happen. I'll just give you my examples to better articulate. So for example, one of our visions is to get to 100 locations. And the 100 locations represent not the units, but the growth that we'll have to incur to get there. We'll have to be a lot better at what we do. We'll have to make more money. We'll have to hire great people, all right, a lot more great people. And that's the journey where the fun is at, right? So 100 is just an easy number to go after. Within that, we want to give our company back to the team. We want it to be a team-led company, right? So 30% we want to have our team leading that, okay? Now so that's the vision. The milestone right now is there's a little bit of, I got to hire, also within that, I want to be on the board. I don't want to be, my role right now as a CEO, I want to step away from that by 2030. Now, the thing that's holding us back, the milestone that we need to get is, I think I told some of you we hired a COO this last year. And honestly, it didn't work out. It was a great learning experience, but we had to exit, we had to part ways. It reminded me of the first time that I got 2 locations and I had to hire somebody as a general manager for my first location. That didn't work out first, second, third, fourth, fifth time. Because it took me a while, I'm a slow learner, it took me a while to figure out how to lead from that position. So I know that, I learned a whole bunch of this last year, and eventually when I go back to hire that person, I'm going to be much better. It might take 2 or 3 more, that's okay, but that is an example of what a milestone is in order for us. There's no way we can grow without having that position in there. So that's one of my first milestones, that's the example. Right?
Perfect.
So now, and then as it ladders down to what's next, we're going to talk a lot more about that tomorrow, that first step. And that's going to be a little bit more like, what do I need to do? Maybe I need to hire a few more key people. Maybe I need to, get some loan. Maybe I need to fix my credit. Maybe I need to, get my current P&L looking a little healthier so I can get that loan. That would be something in the next year. So not to be confused with our wildly portfolio that will go tomorrow. Okay? So action steps now. Figure out your milestone. Figure out your first step, and go.
Evan, do you have yours?
What's that?
I said, do you have yours?
So,
Okay.
So for the 2026 or 2028 milestone, I mean, would you want, like 2026, definitely want to define, what is the best club in the community? Like, what does it take?
Sure.
So by 2028, you would want that playbook being acted on, likely.
You probably have already scouted out some of these other clubs too. Like you're in the works of,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So I mean, we were just kind of talking about it. Like, would we be? I mean, there's two options. You could have, you know, you'd be at 10 clubs by 2028. But if you're at 10 clubs that quickly, it's unlikely
That they're all doing
they're
well.
not all doing $1 million in revenue.
Right.
System in play, or have the system ready to go.
Exactly.
So it's
So the first one would be know what that is. I would think by next year, right?
so define best club. That's membership, PT, community. That's right. But then you also need, you likely already have to start working towards financial.
Yep.
You need key. I mean, you need key leaders.
Yeah, you've got kind of like your leadership team is developed at that point because you're
executing.
I messed up my slide. I can't reach.
I added a slide, so I had to repost it in.
And likely, you know, at this time they're asking for more. Probably. Right.
Yeah, probably. I would also put like, so if this is 3 years out, how many of my 10 do I want at this point? And what leases am I working on? Because those are going to take, that could take 18 months.
And then probably at least one and three, I would say 5.
That's what it was.
Probably one regional in place. You could say 5 to 7.
Yep.
With, I would say, one next in line.
Someone's prepared to be promoted. Yeah. There you go.
And likely one next region. Either identified or started.
Yeah. There you go. All right, if you're feeling a little stuck, it's kind of hard to fill in some of these blanks. Just remember, you can change it. This is not set in stone. This is more of the exercise of thinking ahead, not feeling so stuck in the whirlwind all the time.
So the headline is the actual vision.
Yeah.
A milestone or some of the
Yeah, it's like the halfway point. So in order for this to be true, where do I need to be in order to actually have a shot at this, right? And so then that makes next year's focus, they kind of go almost like a domino effect, right? All right, so at this point, you should have page 14 filled out. If you jumped ahead and you already filled out page 15, good job. If you've not filled out page 15, so on that page, you're going to see my 2030 vision is. You're just rewriting it. You're not making a new one. You're just rewriting it. And then on the bottom, my 2026 focus is. So what that means is if on the left page, you wrote a step for 2026, what does that mean the focus for next year needs to be for you? So just go ahead and reiterate that there. Take a couple minutes. Get that locked in. All right, as you're finishing writing, we're actually going to come around and we're going to do one person from each table is going to share their 2030 vision and their 2026 next step. So I believe we're actually going to start at the back of the room.
And to be clear, just for time, we'd like to go through everyone, but we can only choose one per table. If you really want to speak it into existence, we only take one person per table. Get them up to maybe thumb wrestle it out, maybe whatever you need to do. One person per table gets to talk about their 5-year vision and their milestone. If you really want to make it happen, right, you got to stand up and you got to talk about it. You don't have to scream it. You just got to say it loud enough for everybody to hear. Sound good? And remember, as Katie says, if you are getting stuck on some of this, that's an indicator that you should lean into it. If you don't have it perfect right now, that's okay. And again, perfect is the enemy of getting stuff done. Take it home with you and clean it up a little bit. But if you're struggling with this at all, meaning, I don't have it, that's telling you something, and that's what you really need to push on through in the next couple of days. Okay? So we're ready to
Start at the back.
who in the back wants to volunteer? Jason. Wow. Hey, let's give him a round of applause. Yeah, stand up, shout it out.
So my 2030 vision is 12 clubs operating under our finalized SOP.
12 clubs operating under your SOP?
Yeah, our finalized SOP.
Your final SOPs. Okay, and awesome. And what is your milestone to get there? She's not written that down yet. Okay. All right. Well, let's give her a round of applause. Let's go to this table here. Who would like to? All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go, Evan.
Evan, Washington State.
Great state. Beautiful state out there.
State.
Yep.
2030 vision is 10 clubs, $10 million in revenue.
Wow.
Every gym is the best gym in its community. So
Love it.
we're 1 of 1 so far. We're going to make it to 2 here soon. 2026 focus. Define what the best club is, design it, execute it, follow up, and then club 3, maybe 4.
Awesome. Love it. Perfect. All right. Who at this table would like to go? Only one. I'm sorry. Only one. All right. Awesome. Wonderful. Let's go to this table here. Who would like to speak? It is the universe.
Sure, I'll go.
Go ahead, stand up. Yeah, Kate. Careful. Don't lose those poker chips.
Looking for an exit strategy by 2030 to get there, I'd say that we need to have systems in place.
Yeah. Good, love it. To get the multiplier that he wants. And this is great. You know, if you guys, anybody wants to exit, now is the time. Like if you wake up one morning like, oh, I want to sell, it's not going to work as well in your favor. And I like what Kate says is you're going to be more attractive to other buyers if you have systems in place, especially around PT, where so many people are doing so many different things, but if you have a system in place to prove out your revenue, you'll get a much bigger multiplier, and now is the time to be building that, so that's exactly why we're doing this. This is good. Okay, before I pass it off to Katie, let's do, yes. Who at this table would like to go? Only one though. Okay.
All right, 2030, 2 more clubs, be multi-club owners and landlords. My 2028 milestones will be for those all $1 million clubs. And then next steps this year will be getting PT up to 30K.
Beautiful.
All right, we'll come to this table. Jane and Jeff, what's yours? All right.
So we're coming from a club that's still trying to get to break even. So I'm focusing on this one club, and I want that club to get to 1,500 clients developing our team so that they are engaging our clients so that we can eliminate the attrition rate that we see.
Great. Very good, very good.
All right, coming over here. Anybody want to volunteer? Go right ahead, Mark.
Notice no crutches anymore, right? I'm healed.
Seriously, now my 2030 vision, holy cranky, I'll be almost 70. So
That's a good vision.
it is a vision, right? And this won't be on. So, no, seriously, I see myself in, at 10 clubs. We're doing between 10 and 15 million in revenue based on our membership and our personal training. Myself, I will be chairman of the board in an advisory capacity to my director of operations and team that are running the show. And my focus for 2026 to help make that happen is putting the players in place so that we can build this. Because I really learned that it is the who's on your team that can help you get to where you want to be. So our regional personal trainer, and not only in place but thriving because it has the systems to operate and execute with the team. My director of ops in position and thriving as well because of the systems in place. And then I've got another one, Milton, which is one of our current clubs. Do we stay or do we go? That club is currently a hobby in our system, and it's going to thrive. So basically, 2026, Birch and Gander. That's my focus. That's great.
All right, bring it up here. Joy, you want to share?
Oh my goodness. I feel weird because I don't know if I want 10 clubs. That sounds very scary. I just want to make one club really, really freaking good. I don't know what that number is. I'm kind of stuck on that. And I thought it was crazy that we would even double our PT revenue from $10,000 to $20,000 in a year, and now we're at 47. So I'm just trying to picture like the possibilities of 5 years from now, and I'm not sure what that is. So I just need to sit with it for a little bit longer. But no matter what that number is, the focus is fine-tuning the systems and communication. Because I was actually back there now. We're like, what if we did everything right? Because we're still not doing everything right. So it's just, I don't know. These kinds of things are hard for me to like look so far ahead. But that's all I got.
That's why we're doing it. That's good. All right. Josh and Adrian, go ahead.
I'm Josh. I own 6 clubs in Virginia. Our 2030 vision is pretty simple. We want to grow a little bit. We have about 10 clubs, a director of operations, 2 regionals, 2 PT managers, so Adrian and I can have more free time and some financial freedom. We've got 3 daughters. Spend a little bit more time with them. So this upcoming year, we want to implement these protocols that we're learning here. We just came on board with Mastermind in July, so we thought we had pretty good systems, but these are better. So we want to implement these protocols. We've got to hold our staff accountable through structured follow-ups and communication. Tighten that up a lot more, and we've got 5 more clubs to remodel. We've got 1 done, 1 in the process, 2 in the process, and then we'll have 3 more remodels. So we're going to try to keep that ball rolling so we get those BCC funds.
There you go. Very good. Very good. All right, bring us home. Kareem, go ahead. Should have done Chris.
So my 2030 goal is to open 5 clubs, and then commercial real estate, but also like spending time with family. I think that's something that we all kind of struggle with.
Right here. That's it.
As far as
If you want to mention this page.
for next year, I really want to build up my personal skill to be an effective leader. I think part of the reason I'm investing so much into this is I want to make sure I iron out all the weaknesses I have as a leader. That way, when I do have 5 clubs, I avoid all the pitfalls that everyone else kind of sometimes gets into. So, yeah, I'm going to learn from you guys, and thanks.
All right, nice work, everyone. So, you see the theme of the day, right? To build massive momentum, get clarity. And as we went through the room here, it was great to hear clarity on your thoughts. Whether you want to refine them or not, to me, they seemed very clear. And that's where it begins. And that's where we got to get that down to our staff. One of the things I think I mentioned, a huge habit that I developed in my journaling for my goals for the year. I don't write them as goals for the year. I write them as if they already occurred. So I'm very conscientious with my language as if it already happened. And what I do with that is I literally read it every single day before I journal. So I go through it, and I have a long version and a short version depending on how much time I have that day. But they're all about the same thing. It seems silly just at first. However, because of all the noise in our world, in our space, every day we read, oh yeah, and it just reinforces those what's happening this year. I also have my 5-year plan that I do reference minimum of once a month. So within that journal, hey, I haven't read that in a while. I make sure at least once a month I go through that one. And it just reminds me, am I on pace? Am I moving in the direction that I need at the speed in which I want? And I highly recommend that as a tool for all of you. It is a discipline, but we're all high-level owners, so I believe that if you want to get there, it's a nice little practice. Same thing I said earlier, if you don't believe you try for 6 weeks, you don't like it after 6 weeks, throw it out. So in conclusion, as we wrap up today, you all did some very, very nice work. There's a couple extra spots here you can take it home. You really want to think about what's your one next step, when you leave this room. So just think about that. Like, what's that next step? Think about whose future are you about to unlock by showing up differently. A lot of you mentioned team. A lot of you mentioned your family. By doing this, how are you showing up differently with this clear vision? And what could you do more of if you knew your team had ownership of this vision, they are part of this vision? Think about how we can multiply and make this come through. So the biggest thing is make sure you don't hold this vision to yourself. All right? What am I missing, Katie?
That's it.
Yeah, so great engagement today. This concludes day 1. I really hope that you found value today. I saw all of you taking notes, writing. Figure out how you're going to use that. This tonight, just so you know, we got logistics coming up this way, Chef Wallace. He's going to tell you all about the logistics of today and tomorrow and beyond. So hopefully you can join us. We're just, I'll tell us something.
All right, so tonight we're not doing any formal activities like we are last night or tomorrow night or like we did last night. But our team, we're going to go out to a little team dinner, and then we're going to go over to Clark's at Boston's, I'm not even going to try to say that word, Hall, whatever that F word is there. And so we'll be over there around 8. If anybody wants to come join us, we're going to have some beers, we're going to hang out. Like I said, it's nothing formal, but if you're looking for something to do tonight, this is where we will be. We'll be there around 8 o'clock. You're more than welcome to join us. For your stuff that you guys got today, I'm sure that you're super excited to wear your shirt, and you're more than welcome to do so. But what we would really love, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, is for you to wear it at the Anytime Fitness Conference. So,
You knew that was coming.
yeah, shocker, right? So if you have the itch to wear it tomorrow, you can do that as long as you're willing to wear a dirty shirt at the conference.
He's got a walk over too?
Yeah. I should put a little profile on you. All right. More on your swag tomorrow. Andy, anything else?
There you go. No, I'm just getting the music going on here.
All right. Go out. Enjoy Boston. Thank you for day 1.